Hey, everybody. Thanks as always for tuning in to Multicade Mondays. I'm your host, PDubs, here in PDubs Arcade Loft, where we always appreciate it when you come and hang out upstairs with us. I have a really great announcement for those of you who are fans of this particular live stream, this particular broadcast, this particular piece of my content selection. So Multicade Mondays, we were doing weekly, then we started doing it monthly, then we started doing it once in a blue moon, then we were every other week, then we were weekly, and then it's been a hot mess. It's been a hot mess, right? Well, I have some great news for all of you. Taking a look at my current interests in this home arcade hobby, this journey that I'm on, the same journey that all of you are on. There, when I think about the products I'm going to be purchasing, when I think about the content I'm going to be making, when I think about like the really cool things when it comes to like emulation, FPGA, when it comes to just arcades and pinball machines, I'm like, I need a show to talk about that stuff. Wait a minute. I have a show. It's called Multicade Mondays. So the good news, and I hope you guys take this as good news, is that starting today, every week we're going to be back. That's right. Multicade Mondays is back. We're committed to doing a weekly schedule, one broadcast every week, talking about multicade, modding, and all that kinds of stuff. So I'm super, super excited about this. I hope you guys are excited about it as well. It's been too long. I can't be doing these once a month streams. I can't be doing these once every 3 week streams. We got to be doing this every week. We got to be hanging out and talking about our passions, our loves, our interests, and hopefully a lot of the content I bring you, hopefully it'll give you great ideas for doing stuff in your own homes, because I've been inspired by so many people. I hope some people get inspired by this content and all that kinds of stuff. The long and short of it, dudes, is Multicade Mondays is back on its regular scheduled broadcast schedule. Let's do it, baby. All right, my dudes, as always, whenever I do a live stream, I gotta say hi to who's here in the live chat, who took time out of their day to come hang out with me. We got Tulsa Arcades. We're going to be talking about Tulsa Arcades. JC's got a new cocktail table line you might be interested in, especially if, let's just say, you're a modder who maybe doesn't know how to mod, or an entry-level mod. You need some help. Sometimes people are willing to pay the money to have someone else do the work for them. So Tulsa Arcades, I'm going to be showing off something he's got cooking that you guys will all see. Jason is here. Love you, Jason. Jester's here. Adam, Mitchell B, Multicade Matt. If I ever needed a co-host who has the right name to come on this show, who can come on Multicade Mondays, it might be Multicade Matt. Let me know if you guys want me to get Multicade Matt on here. Biggie D's here. Goofy Foot is here. Carl's here. Steven is here. Charlie, Chuck, Herb Wars, Tony C, Goofy Foot. Love seeing Goofy Foot. Papa Brad, Haunted Wisp, Who else is here? Mitchy B. I think I got Mitchy B. In Danger Dog. I saw you earlier in the chat. Canadian Red Devil. Vernski's here. Vernsky, this is my neighbor Vern. Yes, thanks so much, buddy. And you know what? You should come over because you only live right down the street. Just come over and park your ass next to me because if there's someone who loves cocktail tables, it's you. I'm actually going to talk about you a little bit tonight as well when we get to like the commercial home arcade stuff. The bad guy, Mike Worley, is here. Watch out. He's a bad man. He's a bad dude. Is that everybody? I think that's everybody we can cover so far. Look at it, Vernsky. He's on his way, guys. He's on his way. I love it. Vern lives literally just a few blocks away, less than 5-minute drive. I love Vern. He's a good guy. It's amazing too. We met each other through this hobby. So I hope a lot of you have made a lot of friends through this hobby. I got to tell you, I've been very blessed. I've been very lucky that, there's like what, 40, 50 guys and gals who cover like this home arcade space. More and more people are starting YouTube channels every day, which is great. The more content, the better. It helps grow the niche. It helps grow the marketplace. It helps everybody grow, right? I've seen other content creators, especially when I started, lose their goddamn minds. How dare this guy start a YouTube channel? How dare this guy produce videos? Not realizing that my videos helped their channels grow. It helped, people would watch my shitty content and then go look at your well-produced video that shows up as a recommended video after watching my shitty content, and it was putting traffic towards you, right? We all drive traffic towards each other. There's room at the table for everybody. Don't let anyone stop you. If you want to hop on social media, you want to be a TikToker, a Twitter person, a Twitch person, an Instagram person, a YouTube person, don't let anyone stop you. Don't let them say no, baby, because guess what? We all help each other grow, man. And we're all helping this hobby grow, right? Because if this hobby dies, some people might not have much to talk about on their channels. Luckily, I've positioned this channel, I hope, where I can keep going. Even if this hobby went away, I can keep going talking about all kinds of other stuff. So yeah, there we go. But tonight, yes, we're talking cocktail tables. So what a great idea for a return episode of Multicade Mondays. We're going to be talking about cocktail tables. Are these the multi-cades that you've been missing? Are these the multi-cades that as you're running out of space in your home, and let's just say you're tired of standing up, doing the arcade splits, shuffling on your feet, you want to sit down in a comfy chair and just play some arcade games and maybe, just maybe, have someone across from you and compete in some head-to-head competition? We're going to be talking about some cocktail tables. I want to talk about a few things. Number one, the new product that Tulsa Arcades has got coming out, as well as how does his new product compare to what you can go out and buy if you go hit up like an arcade shop, a billiard store. Have you guys walked in there? Have you guys seen the arcades? They have arcades for sale. They have these cocktail tables for sale. They have all kinds of games in them. We're going to show you some of those. We're also going to talk about, for you modders, if you wanted to save some money, because let's be honest, if you buy it at full retail, all the work's done for you, you're going to spend a lot of money. And it's always cheaper to do it yourself. And some people don't have the talent to do it themselves. I totally understand. Trust me, I didn't know shit about nothing until I started doing this hobby. And I can build one of these myself. And if I can do it, you can do it. And there's lots of people out there to help you, lots of great tutorial videos on YouTube, things like that. So we're going to be talking about different options for if you decided to make your own cocktail table. What are some options you can throw in there? As well as I'm going to give you an update on my, speaking of cocktail tables, my Cubert cocktail table restoration. That's right. They maybe only built about 200 to 400 of these things, and I got lucky enough to get my hands on one. It's been in my garage. It's still in my garage. But I'm going to give you an update on it as to what I'm going to have to do to get this bad boy up and running. So hopefully that's enough meat for the show. Hopefully that'll get us through about the next 40 minutes or so. I hope you guys are excited. I know I'm excited to be back. Vernski's here. Yeah, it was so funny. Like, Vern didn't know anything about modding. And then you guys remember his Captain America and the Avengers mod, which we did here on Multicade Mondays. We went week by week. We showed you the updates. If you're new to this show, make sure you go back, watch our old episodes where one week we showed this is what we did, then this is what we did, this is what we did, and then we had the final product, Captain America and the Avengers Multi-Cade for Vern and his son. Vern didn't know anything about modding. Next thing I know, Vern tells me to come over to his house. I come over to his house one day, and he did a full Nintendo Wii Guitar Hero mod on one of his other cabinets because he got so inspired and he learned how to mod some of these cabinets. and it was super, super cool. It was such a rewarding experience, and he still has that thing, baby. Come on, Mike, keep it together, baby. Keep it together, babies. No, man. I Hate Mondays is on Sunday. And I don't understand the confusion here. The I Hate Monday show, if I ever stream on a Sunday, it's because I dread Mondays. I hate Mondays. I don't want Monday to come. I do a live stream. I hang out with you guys because maybe if we're all together, we can hold back Monday for just a little while longer, right? That's the whole point of the I Hate Mondays. But Multi-Cade Mondays is where we're talking about multi-cades, baby. God damn, I love my multi-cades. I'm a little ROM pirate and I don't give a shit if you don't like it. All right, guys, let's get to it. Let's get to it. All right, so I'm going to show you some stuff, right? So let's kick it off with some of the more expensive stuff, as well as what Tulsa Arcades has got coming out very, very soon, as well as then we're going to get into modding, do-it-yourself stuff. Then we'll talk a little bit about Qbert. Then I'll send you over to Michael B. the Game Genie. I have a hard cutoff at 6 p.m., ladies and gentlemen. If 6 p.m. rolls around and I'm still talking, which is 9 p.m. on the East Coast when Mike starts, shut me up. Let me know because I have 9:30 tickets, 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 my time. Me, my wife, and son are going to go see Guardians of the Galaxy 3. We got tickets tonight. Already bought our tickets. Tickets are books. I can't be late to the movies. My wife and son will be pissed. So I have a hard cutoff tonight. We're not going to go over. All right, guys, let's do it. All right, so first off, as you guys know, Tulsa Arcades, one of my favorite aftermarket modding companies out there when it comes to home arcades, or if you wanted to get full scale cabinets, kind of like, the stuff you would see from Rec Room Masters and things like that. Over the years, JC has been very innovative. He's come up with a lot of cool stuff. He's also come up with some silly stuff. Do you guys remember the Street Fighter mod that had a control panel that was so big? It was huge. It looked like the thing had wings and it was about to take off. And now look at the quality of stuff that he puts out there for people to purchase. You could purchase this stuff. That's what we're going to be talking about. His new head-to-head barcade. But he puts out so much stuff and he puts a lot of time, effort into it, and it's beautiful and all that stuff. And out of all the aftermarket guys, and I've been lucky enough to collaborate with a bunch of them, like Angel Otero, Disability Upgrades. Absolutely love you, Angel. Laramie Griffith, Retro 530, Joe Sabo, Sabo's Arcades, Dan over at Escape Pod Online, JC at Tulsa Arcades, Tyler over at Arcade Graphics. Being in this hobby, I've been able to meet a lot of these people, review a lot of their products and things like that. But I got to tell you, when I only had like 600 subscribers, the only person who would listen to me and give me a shot was JC over at Tulsa Arcade. So JC, don't worry, man. It's been 3-4 years. I'll never forget you were the first guy to trust PDubs with filming reviews and giving honest opinions and all that kinds of stuff. We had a lot of great time working together. But anyway, I digress. Guys, I'm having a lot of fun tonight. I'm super, super excited. So right here, JC is going to be coming out with this baby. So this is going to be the head-to-head barcades that he's going to be building and possibly selling. Guys, I want your feedback in the live chat. I got several pictures as well as some videos to show you. Let me know what you think of these. He's going to start selling these on his website yet. He hasn't come up with a final price yet because these things are going to be completely done, which means it's going to be expensive. It's going to have all the controls included. It's going to have the monitor included, PC included, running all the games, running the build, and all that stuff, and coin door and everything. But tell me that doesn't look pretty cool. Like, I think that looks pretty great. In my opinion, when JC sent me photos of this earlier in the week, I was like, holy shit, man, that looks awesome. How much is it? I want to buy it from you. But he wouldn't sell it. He wouldn't sell it. Yeah, you remember the aircraft carrier? Do you remember it? Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about At Games. Yeah, like At Games, Arcade One Up has been the only one so far to give us some cheaper commercial art cocktail tables, which are great for modding, right? Great for modding. So this looks pretty cool. Now let's wait, hold on. Wrong direction. Wrong direction. So here's a little bit of the top half of the control panel. Well, who do you see there? Oh man, this artwork looks killer. I know JC hires a graphic designer to do his stuff, but that looks pretty cool in my opinion. Absolutely love this. Looks like we got Ken from Street Fighter. We're using the Street Fighter fonts and all that stuff. And right here, we got here's your control panel. Looks like we have some cost-effective controls in there, JC. Is that the nicest way to put it? Is that the cost-effective controls? I would probably swap this out and put something a little more serious in there. But this looks pretty cool, and it does light up. Some of you guys love your light up stuff. I'm not a big fan of the light up buttons. I'm sorry, I'm not. I'm not a big fan of the light up buttons. But it's okay. It's okay. This was done by a girl that does our graphics. There you go. Thanks so much. Nice artwork for a basement bar. Yeah, Bobby's Arcade World says it looks dope. And let's keep going, man. Let's keep going. Here's another view of the zooming in on this cocktail table. Here's the player two side, the other side. So you're gonna have blue and red, blue on one side, red on the other. I think that looks pretty cool. Nice little clash of colors. And here is a video. Let's see, can I make it any bigger? I don't know if I can. Oh no. Let's see if I can make it any bigger, guys. You had to send it to me as a WAV file, didn't you? Oop, wrong button. All right. Well, I mean, it's super, super tiny on this. Next time, send me an MP4. So yeah, we got a really tiny video here for a really nice size cocktail table. Do me a favor, JC, since I noticed you're here in the live chat, let us know what the dimensions of this thing are going to be. How big is this thing going to be compared to, let's say, an arcade one-up cocktail table, which I think a lot of my viewers have already seen, possibly in person or on videos. They've seen those cocktail tables. Oh, yes. And another reason this thing is going to be pretty expensive is JC told me when we were talking on the phone the other day, it's going to have a real glass top. So he's not giving you a cheap piece of plexi. He's not giving you a cheap piece of plexi. It does have a 24-inch monitor in there, as you can see. JC, is that a BOE monitor? I'm sure everyone's going to ask that. No, I'm just kidding, man. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Oh, man. I wish I was able to blow this video up, man. I don't know why it's playing that way. Can I make it any bigger? That's what she said. I would add pinball legs to make it a high top pub table. Now, when it comes to something like this, obviously the cost of it is going to be relatively high. Now, JC hasn't come out with a final price yet. Considering the glass top and all the PC and stuff's included, you got to get this thing shipped. It's probably very heavy. It's probably not made out of cheap wood. JC usually uses the good stuff, right? What you call it? It's probably going to be close to like a couple of grand. But guys, guess what? Everything's done for you. You're literally it's gonna arrive and you're gonna plug it in and you're gonna be playing games, right? And his price is kind of in line when you look at how many guys ever like search your Facebook marketplace, your offer up, or how many of you guys ever, if there's an arcade shop, an arcade or pinball dealer in your local area, they sell these pre-made cocktail tables that are fully loaded, like all the work is done. Usually the prices, guys, I see on these are anywhere from a grand to 3 grand. So if JC's going to be selling his in like the, let's just say the $2,000 range, I mean, it kind of makes sense, right? He's kind of fitting it into where you see a lot of this stuff. I mean, some of these you could even order off AliExpress and things like that. There you go. He says it's going to be about 3/4 size. There you go. 24-inch monitor. It's going to have a 24-inch monitor in there, is what he told me. It's also going to have a virtual pin. I don't know if you noticed, and JC, I forgot to mention that. Let me get that off the screen right there. It's going to have, and it may have been shown on the picture right here. Oh yeah, here we go. Here we go. Boom. Take a look right here. See this blue button right here, guys, ladies and gentlemen? It's going to have a virtual pinball as well. So there you go. So some of these other cocktail tables that kind of just stick you with, vertical arcade games, JC's going to let you have a little bit of pinball fun as well. Again, it's going to be an expensive toy, but probably, if you could just turn it on and play a bunch of games, you'll probably have a good time. Yep, Nooner agrees with me. When you get this stuff fully loaded, already done for you, especially at like these arcade and billiard dealers, they're anywhere from a grand to 3 grand. So yeah, they're all over this place. So if you want the work done for you, you're going to have to spend some money, guys. It's just the way it is. Nothing in life is free. Nothing in life is free. So do me a favor, guys, and make sure you check out my boy Tulsa Arcades. Make sure you guys message him. Make sure you go to his website, tulsaarcades.com. Talk to JC and let him know. Oh, it's got a nudge. Uh, JC, you want to let him know what specs the PC are that you're going to throw in there? Let people know. That would be great. Steps Gaming says she needs a V pin to play some Iron Maiden pinball. There you go, Steps. That's a good choice. That is a good choice. All right, let's get that off the screen here. Though. Let's get that off the screen. But then again, some people they don't want to spend the big bucks, right? They don't want to spend the big bucks of buying these where you just turn them on and play. It's a lot of money. Trust me, guys. This is becoming an expensive hobby for a lot of us. So there are cheaper, cost-effective ways that you could do this kind of stuff yourself. So we're going to cover everything here. So for instance, probably cheapest way to go is probably pick up, let's just say, an arcade one-up cocktail table. I mean, it's already built. It's in the form factor. You got a monitor. You got all the speakers and stuff. Well, then again, a lot of these kits will come with new speakers. And there have been some mods done. Like, for instance, you've seen, who was it? It was a long time ago. I think it was Cool Toy. Cool Toy took an arcade one up, Pac-Man cocktail table, and he did a full PC mod with Launchbox and stuff, and he did a showcase video on his channel eons ago. That was a really long time ago. But the most common thing I see people pick, and keep in mind, we're going to give you several options to think about when you're doing this stuff, is obviously putting in a 60-in-1. When you put in your 60-in-1 kit, you'll have access to 60 games, and you'll be able to play these in vertical mode. Now, me, myself, you can put a 60-in-1 in anything. And what's cool about a 60-in-1 is you can put it in cocktail mode. That way the screen automatically rotates and things like that. So this is one option for you. It's probably going to be one of the cheapest options. Like, for instance, my buddies here, Shane over at DIY Retro Arcade, they sell the full conversion kit that you need. I mean, you could get it for the vertical machines, but you're probably going to want to get it for, they should have the one where you can get 2 joysticks. Let them know, hey, I want to do this as a cocktail table, not as an arcade machine. Shane and the boys will hook you up with the extra joysticks. Make sure you have the appropriate JAMA harness and all that stuff. 120, 150 bucks, but you get everything you need. Gut the thing, throw it in there, and you can play 60 games, right? But 60-in-1s, the problem with these things is that unfortunately, not all the games run perfect, right? Not all the games run perfect. There's several games on 60-in-1s that don't run so great, right? They have audio issues or glitchiness or things like that. Tulsa Arcade says if you want a 60-in-1, he might be able to do those around 1400. So that's a big savings versus a PC build and stuff like that. Let's see here. Did he put the specs in? Here's what he's going to be including. And this is really all you need to run arcade games. An i5, 8 gigabytes of RAM, 1650 GPU, 240 gigabyte solid state drive. I mean, guys, for just running arcade games, that's all you need, as well as some pinball games. Like, boom, done. That's all you need. So you don't need like a $5,000 PC. So yeah, so there you go. What were we talking about? All right, so you can do your 60-in-1s. I've done 60-in-1 mod before. Go check out my Miss Pac-Man mod. That Miss Pac-Man machine is still in my garage. I actually need to go harvest the 60-in-1 out of there and put that in something else. But I want to show you a couple other options here for you. So for instance, another one for you, using pretty much almost the same kind of kit that you would get from DIY Retro Arcade would be your King of Air, the King of Air 2. So that's this Pandora's box right here. You can pick these up on AliExpress right here. And you know what? Since there's so many fake ones out there, there's a lot of fake Pandora boxes out there. I'll put a link in the live chat as well. There's a link. That way you guys know you're getting the real thing, not a fake one. Like this right here. Guys, this box is usually 215 bucks. It's on sale for 107 bucks. But then again, you're missing the JAMA harness and all that stuff. But what's really cool, oh, look at that. We're looking at ourselves. But what's really cool about guys like DIY Retro Arcade, they have all the Pandora kits on their website. So you go to DIY Retro Arcade and you can get the Pandora kit where he'll get you the JAMA harness. It's already pre-labeled. So that way, when you plug it in and you're like, okay, which wire goes to my A button? which wire goes to my B button. Like he'll have the JAMA harness pre-labeled for you, and then you could use that and do this. And what's cool about this, the King of Air, is you get 512 games, and you can run this in cocktail mode as well. You could run this in cocktail mode. So, for instance, I'm going to pull up a video here. Credits to One Up Gaming Arcade. Let's go ahead and add this to the stream. And here's the King of Air 2 user interface. It's, you're going to get a lot of, there's going to get a lot of duplicate games and things like that. Let's see here. And, it's a pretty basic user interface, but you can run it in cocktail mode. I don't know what monitor he's using here, or if it's the fact that he was recording with a cell phone video or something like that. It looks a little stretched here, but what you call it, if you actually have it on a different monitor, I'm sure it'll look better. But this was the first video I found on YouTube because I still need to connect this thing as well. Whatchamacallit, and where were we going with this? Oh yeah, so like you could do this, right? And the emulation's decent. There are some games that have issues on the King of Air 2. That's been discussed by a lot of people, which is why, like, on the King of Air 10th anniversary box, which just came out, which I have downstairs, they supposedly some of this stuff has been fixed by Team Pandorian. I'm sorry, not Team Pandorian, from the Pandora's Box people. So hopefully that'll be working. But this will give you, 512 games, and you can run it in cocktail mode. I'm really wondering here. Okay, there you go. Yeah, he's got a very horizontal monitor in there. He's got a very, what do I call that? Widescreen. He's got a very widescreen monitor in there right now. So in his little cocktail table. But still a really cool video. I'm going to put a link for this in the video description here as well. So you guys can check it out. This guy actually did a pretty good job doing an overview of it. I would recommend putting in, like a 19-inch or something, typical 4354 type monitor. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't want to put like one of those big monsters in there and have the image all stretched. But yeah, there you go. Vernsky, can I add that Pandora's box to my Space Invaders with the 60 in one in it? Yes, you can actually. You could unplug your JAMA harness, and then I'll tell you what, I'll bring over my, because I have a couple Pandora JAMA harnesses. I'll bring it over. Let's just make sure the wires are all lined up right. And if they are, or if not, we might have to just rework a few things, like this button goes here, this wire goes to this button instead. Either way, yeah, you could do it, man. I mean, you already have your arcade power supply in there. So swapping out another JAMA device with that, reusing that arcade power supply, is pretty cool as well. So things can happen. You can make stuff happen if you get really, really creative with it. Yeah, so that's the other thing too. Square monitors, more expensive these days, but man, you could find some on Facebook Marketplace, man. People are always getting rid of old Dell monitors and things like that. So Bo knows Tecmo. I prefer my retro games 16:9. There you go. All right, guys, we're trying to fly through because again, I got to get done because we have to go to the movies tonight. We got to go to the movies tonight. So that's another option for you, is to do the King of Air. And yeah, you could do Raspberry Pis and stuff like that. But honestly, guys, after like 4 years in this hobby, I'm kind of burnt out of Raspberry Pis. What about you? Let me know in the live chat. It just doesn't sound that exciting or challenging to me anymore. Raspberry Pis, it's easy to do because you could just plug in a USB encoder board and then connect all your buttons and joystick that way. ETA Prime led the way for all of us to get into this hobby. And so many people have done Raspberry Pi mods. I've done a bunch of Pi mods, but Pi mods are just kind of boring, right? They're kind of boring, you know. And also, yes, that's what I was about to say. Tulsa arcades, they are so expensive these days. So expensive. 16.9 is okay, yeah, if you want to play some more modern stuff, like the pinball. Like the pinball. Like if you're gonna play pinball on there or something like that. Yeah, that would make kind of sense. But yeah, I'm kind of over pies. Let me know, guys. Are you guys over pies, or do you guys still think pies are the greatest thing in the world? Let me know in the live chat. Goofyfoot says he's no more pies for him. Carl O says pies suck after CoinOps X. RK33 rock solid pies have too many hardware problems. Tulsa Arcades is here. They say we use PC and everything now. No Pi, no Android. There you go. Yeah, the whole point of Raspberry Pis is they were cheap. They're not cheap anymore. Like literally, like if I was to do a mod like that instead of a Pi, I would just get like an Android box. You know what I mean? Like they're cheaper. They're cheaper than Pis and they run the same stuff. So yeah, there you go. I found a Raspberry Pi in a drawer earlier tonight. You literally found a drawer full of money. Go sell that thing off online. You'll make a couple $100 off it because people are still desperate to get their hands on them because they refuse to try anything else. All right, so that's what's going on there. Let's do this. Let's do this. Man, we got a good crowd here. Considering I haven't done a stream in a long time, we already have over 150 people here, guys. I greatly, greatly appreciate your support. I really do. And if you were late to the broadcast, just real quick, just going to say it again. We are bringing Multicade Mondays back. This is the first episode of our weekly broadcast. That's right. I am committed to bringing you guys this broadcast every single Monday moving forward for the time being. My deepest apologies that we were doing weekly, then we did bi weekly, then we did once a month, then we did once in a blue moon. We're back every single week because guess what? My interests are more and more getting away from like arcade one up and more towards like emulation, multi-cades, arcades, FPGA, things like that, which is a great transition into more issues with cocktail tables. Let me pull something up here for you guys. So I unfortunately, with my Cubert restoration project, let me make sure I pull up the right pictures. I know a lot of people are super excited about this project. All right. In case you need a little blast from the past memory, my dudes, this is what I'm starting with. All right. This. This thing has been rained on, hosed on, pissed on, drooled on, every form of fluid known to man, gasoline, WD-40, who knows what else, paint thinner, every single liquid known to man has touched this cabinet. So this is like the most daring and most difficult restoration I am ever going to try. I'm really putting myself on a limb here to try and turn this thing into something playable. Now, the good news is we do have a, which is kind of a shame. If we go back here to this picture, so when they originally made these Cubert cocktail tables, they only had a 13-inch screen. That's it. Look at the size of this thing, right? Look at the size of this thing, and it only has a 13-inch screen. You know what I mean? That's terrible. I wish it had a bigger screen, but it does have 13-inch screen, and the monitor functions. Monitor's good, as you can see here. Doesn't look too bad. You can't even see really any burn in, just a little burn in right here where you can kind of see a Q where it says Qbert. There's a little burn in there, but so the monitor and all that's salvageable, right? So, you know, and when it comes to this top, which this is kind of like a glass plexi top, the artwork is reverse printed on it, right? So I know a couple guys out there, a couple great guys like Joe Sabo and stuff. I could send this to them, and instead of trying to clean this up and put a new decal on it, just have them print me a brand new one. Does that make sense? So I know the top is fixable, as nasty as it looks. And monitor is serviceable if we decide to keep it this way, right? But take a look at the mess I'm dealing with here, right? Like, ouch, absolutely disgusting inside of here. Gonna need a whole new power supply, so that's gonna be fun. But I know how to put power supplies and stuff in, so that's fine. Good news, the coin door is fully functioning, so the coin door works just fine. So we'll be able to keep this coin door. So that's great. Has an original coin door on it, no problems there. Joysticks and stuff, as you can see here, all the wood, I'm gonna have to do a lot of patching and painting and wood putty. Here's your T molding right here. The T molding is gonna need replaced in a lot of parts. It does have the Cubert joysticks. Cubert joysticks hopefully can be salvaged. I'll know more once I take them out and all that stuff. As you can see, the PCB and all that stuff is very, very dirty. So all this is going to need cleaned up and looking nice and green and shiny by the time we're done. So this is going to be a pain. And as you can see here, the condition on the cabinet, as you can see here, we got the T-molding peeling off. We have the wood splitting. Hopefully I can salvage this panel. It's been severely water damaged as well as this panel, right? The goal is to try and not just rebuild a new one. We want to try and restore the old one, right? So yeah, it's pretty nasty, right, guys? It's pretty gross. And then as you can see here, this all needs cleaned up. So it all needs cleaned up. One thing that's interesting about this is it's missing the filter board, right? There's a special filter board that's supposed to be inside of this arcade cocktail table. Filter board's gone. So what I think happened is maybe somebody was looking for a part and maybe they just pulled it out of here and sold it to them because it doesn't have the filter board. Now, what's really cool is you order a new filter board from Arcade Shop. I had a new filter board, which is how I was able to put it in and test things out and stuff like that. But there's still some issues. So you got to have a backup plan, right? You got to have a backup plan. If we can't get the original hardware running the way we should, we got to have a backup plan. And this plays into um, our main topic for tonight, which is when it comes to doing your own cocktail tables and things like that, is again the wonderful folks over at the arcade shop spell all kinds of multi-game JAMA PCBs. And what's great about all of these is they're pretty much running via FPGA. So it's pretty much the closest thing you're going to get to real arcade emulation without it being the real arcade emulation because it's not like a 60-in-1 or a Raspberry Pi or things like that. It's the closest you're going to get to it. And of course, some of you may know this, some of you may not, but the Millstar one, or commonly referred to as the J-Rock board, this is the one that has all of your Qbert games in it. Now, typically, now what's really cool is you could even build a custom Multi-Cade with this. And if I wanted to, since this is a Qbert cocktail table, if I wanted to, I could stick that thing in there. That's right. I could stick that J-Rock board in there and use that if I can't get the original hardware working, and it'll be as close to it as we can possibly get, right? And it comes with a bunch of different Qbert games. It comes with Argus, Qbert Cubes, Faster, Harder, Qbert. Let's put this on the screen for you guys. Mellow Yellow Qbert, Mad Planets, Crawl, Reactor, Screw Loose, Three Stooges, right? Okay. So that's cool, right? But they're sold out right now, which kind of stinks. But luckily, some of us bought them before they sold out. That's right. So I ordered a bunch of these boards. Let's go back one screen. And what's really cool is I'm going to do a bunch of arcade cabinet mods just for fun with all these boards. Now, of course, it's not innovative or new because I think there have been a lot of people out there who've made content on these boards, but I haven't. And if I haven't done it, well, it's new to me. I have both BitKit 1, BitKit 2. I have the Williams board. So this is a Williams multi-game JAMA PCB. So if I wanted to make a Williams Multi-Cade, you can. This one's got all the Qbert games on it, all the diagonal games and stuff. This Taito board, a Taito Zookeeper board has all Taito stuff on it. And then we have the Berserk Frenzy. So I have this one, this one, this one, and this one. I don't have this one. So I might do mods showing off each of these boards for you guys very, very soon here on Multicade Mondays. I hope you guys are excited about that. So this is my backup plan with the Qbert cocktail table. I'm going to do everything I can to try and get this thing up and running and looking the way it should. As if it's not 40, 50, 40 years old. 40 years old. It was built so long ago. But if we can't do it, this is going to be our backup plan. And we'll give this a shot. The question too, though, is if we decide to use this, will we put in a bigger monitor instead of 13 inches? We'll see. We could do that, but considering the original had the 13-inch monitor, we might have to give it a shot as well. Am I going to be using my Pac-Man Cabrio cab for one of those? What? I don't know what you're talking about. I could tell you this much. It's not a Pac-Man cab anymore. It's something else. I can't wait to get all these videos done. So yeah, there you go. Let's go back to this board. So if this is my backup plan, this is the fun stuff is, we could get more games, right? We'll get Argus, Cubert Cubes, Cocktail version, Faster, Harder Cubert, Mellow Yellow, Mad Planets, Crawl, Reactor, Screw Loose, Three Stooges. So we'll get all that. Zero lag, which is great. VGA monitor support, flip screen option, knocker support as well, which is really cool because the knocker is in this cocktail table, guys, and the knocker's functional. So the fact that the J-Rock board has knocker support is fantastic, right? And these boards, let's see here. Let's see what else they have here. Supported controls. Yeah, this is all stuff I might, well, I mean, maybe a trackball, but that's if we decide to use this board, right? The goal is to use the original hardware. Mad Planet's fast boot option, all that stuff. By the way, have you guys ever played Mad Planets? Let's mute this. Let's go here and let's kind of show you guys what this is right here. Let's get to some gameplay. So he's just showing all the different dip switch settings, how you can rotate the screen and all that stuff. But look at this. Doesn't that look pretty sharp, right? FPGA emulation. So much better than using like a Raspberry Pi, right? As close as you're going to get to real hardware without using the real hardware. That's what the Mister project and stuff is all about as well. So, are you going to show any more of the game, bro? Here we go. Doesn't that look beautiful? Oh, it looks crisp. It looks crisp. I love knockers. Me too, my dudes. Knockers have entered the chat. Nice. Got to have that knocker. So, I mean, it's fun doing this stuff. And this is probably the most challenging thing I've attempted yet since starting this hobby. So hopefully it'll work out fine, right? Hopefully it'll work out fine. But I do know this. I do know this. If we can't get the original hardware up and running, if we go this route, at least we'll be happy. I think we'll be happy. I think we'll be happy. Oh, yeah. You know those coin pushers? Like, I think mine shipped. So I should be getting my coin pusher any day now, that $900 Kickstarter that we backed. So, yeah, that should be coming very, very soon. Hold on 1 minute, guys. Oh, yeah. That's my son reminding me, like, dude, we got to go. We got to go. All right. Well, my son, as you guys know, family is most important. My son is yanking the plug on me because we have tickets in 45 minutes to go see Guardians of the Galaxy 3. So I'm going to go spend the evening with my wife and son. We will be back next week. We're going to show you an update on some of these mod projects that I've been starting and where we're at and all that stuff. We're going to be doing all kinds of Multi-Cade stuff. We'll also cover and see what like Act Games, Arcade 1UP, iArcade are doing, but really not as much as like this stuff. So hopefully you guys are interested in this stuff and keep coming back for more. Are you guys happy Multicade Mondays is coming back? You guys let me know. I'm happy I'm doing it, and I'm happy that I'm bringing it back weekly because this is the stuff I'm really excited about and passionate about. And if you're going to make content on YouTube, don't try to keep up with the Joneses and just make videos that you know will get clicks, that you know will help grow the channel, that you know do this, do this, do this. You know what I mean? Like what I've learned over the last 4 years, guys, is just make videos about what you're excited about and the things that make you happy. And that's what I'm going to be trying to do for the rest of the year. I don't know about you guys. 5 days a week. Don't put that curse on me. All right, guys, do me a favor. Later on tonight, Michael B. the Game Genie is in a mental conundrum. He can't decide. Should he still review Arcade 1UP products or not? I absolutely loved his thumbnail. I even messaged him and said, Mike, that's 3 weeks in a row with great clickbait. Him and I were laughing like crazy about it. But it's true. It's how he feels. And you guys definitely should talk to him and find out what's going on in his head about Arcade 1UP stuff. So make sure you guys watch Michael B. a little bit later tonight. He starts in 15 minutes. Make sure you guys come back next week for another episode of Multicade Mondays. If you enjoyed the podcast, do me a favor. Give me a thumbs up on the way out. Thanks for subscribing. And don't forget, guys, I'll have a lot more details, more videos, show you where these projects are starting next week. We'll talk to you guys real soon. Oh, wait, don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. I have something. Are you still here? If you're still here, let me know. Tell me you're still here. Tell me you're still here. Tell me, are you guys still here? Let me know. Or did everyone leave? Oh, man, we lost everybody. I have something hilarious. Okay, guys, ready? So I made this. All right. Did I say or do anything offensive during this live stream tonight? Did I? Let me know in the live chat. Did I say or do anything offensive? Let me know. I don't think I did, but just in case, I want you guys to know if I did or say anything offensive that anyone else finds offensive in this chat, don't worry about making videos about me. It's already been reported. Look here, PDubs. We really need you to tone it down here, all right? This is a very, very sensitive community. As you know, people call us for any reason under the sun. Despite what you may think, you probably were a little bit insensitive last night. You realized you opened up a can of worms for yourself, right?
I didn't, man. I was honestly just making content for the channel.
All right, well, PDubs.
Yes?
Take it from me, Officer Richard Head. Don't be a dick, all right? Knock it off.
Okay.
This better be the last time I call you, young man.
I'm sorry, Officer Head. I'm really, really sorry.